Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Music Buds podcast. This is episode number 46, and my name is Henry. This week, I'm honored to be joined by the SoapGirls, Millie.
Hi, I'm Millie.
And me.
Hey.
Well, y'all, first of all, thank you so much for taking the time to talk. As I've said to you before, I really am a fan, so I really appreciate you being here.
Oh, thank you. It really means a lot to us, and we're very honored to be on your show. So thank you very much for having us.
Thank you
for being brave enough. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, how's life for you, first of all, these days?
Well, it's interesting, that's for sure.
It's very interesting. It's very different. I mean, generally before, obviously, COVID and everything, we would be on tour for 8 months of the year, which we absolutely love.
But this is the longest that we've been stuck at home for. So we've had to just make that work for us.
Yeah, we've done over 200 live stream shows, but all themed. And so we've done, I don't know, some crazy stuff this last year and a bit. I
think it's pushed us to get even more creative. If that
and
was
a little bit
possible.
more screwed up, but in a good way,
No, I think that's kind of what's happening with a lot of people is you're just kind of forced to go out there and do something different. So you might as well.
You have to. Otherwise, adapt or die, man. If you don't, then what's the use in complaining? I mean, complaining is not going to do anything.
Like you can sit there and say, oh, you know what? This COVID is so shit, man. Yeah. And then everyone, it's shit.
It's shit, man.
And then you look and a year's passed and you're like, oh, I'm still sitting here. It's still shit. Whoa.
Yeah. Well, I guess just kind of, I know you've talked about it before, but kind of going back to the very beginning, how did the band get started?
Okay, that's a very interesting one.
So we're sisters.
Okay, and we are the SoapGirls because when we were young girls, we were about 8 and 9, we would sell soap, like handmade, homemade soap.
This was in South Africa, obviously.
Okay.
Yeah.
In a tiny little village called Hout Bay, and we would get our mom to give us her soaps that she would make. And we would go door to door initially selling soap to raise funds for hospitals.
Kind of like Girl Scouts, but different.
Yeah. And we would buy like different things, like let's say there was a children's home or an old age home that we knew about that was struggling. It's not that we were well off ourselves. We just wanted to do something. We wanted a sense of purpose. So we started out going door to door, which our mom didn't like. And
because it's quite dangerous. I mean, like you answer, like some stranger answers the door and it's like, oh, come inside. I just want to get my wallet.
There was one moment where we went in and then the guy closed the door and we were like, oh shit.
Like we used to watch for like crime and investigation. It's like, oh, it's gonna kill us.
Oh shit. And then he just came down the stairs, bought some. We were like, oh, okay. Bye, sir. Bye, sir. But so then we went down to, so this little village that we stayed in has a harbor. It's tiny.
And there's like a little pier walkway.
And loads of tourists go there. So we started street performing and selling our soap for different hospitals and children's homes. Again, because South Africa, it's got amazing hospitals, but it's not very maintained unless it's a private hospital.
Like it's a third world country. So
So we started like just entertaining people. And then we started getting a lot of people who were like, whoa, these girls are crazy. We spoke in sync. We dressed the same. And
we'd make like a little like skit thing. Yeah.
We wanted people to feel happy to part with their cash. And it was going for a good cause.
So from that, we bumped into someone that had a studio. And then this guy was like, hey, have you ever tried singing? Would you want to come to my studio and try to do some songs? And we were like, okay.
Yeah, why not?
And we were probably
we had intended to get into music and entertainment since we were kids. Is all that we wanted to do. But so it was just like, whoa, this is like some fate thing. Let's go for it. Yeah.
And we went into many different crazy
studios and stuff.
Like,
the music industry, it's weird when you're we were about 13
like 13, the first 14. Time we went into a studio and you meet
people
are
quite dodgy.
I would say
it was worse when we were like kids.
All I know is thank God our mom was with us all the time. So
we had things like a sound engineer drinking what we thought was a big jug of water was actually vodka. It was pretty weird. Just like a guy, even he he was high on coke, and then he pulled a gun on us at a studio as well. It was like, whoa, okay.
But from going to these different studios, then we made obviously like our own music, and then a song that we done, it got onto a Japanese compilation disc.
It was a song called Boys, Boys, Boys.
And then an A&R guy from Universal Music in South Africa, he heard it, and he contacted us, and he was like, I want to meet you.
And also getting signed at the time was the biggest thing we could have hoped for. We were like, we have to get signed to a major label. We didn't have the funds or the means to, get our music out there. And
obviously that's like to every musician's dream. It's like, whoa, man,
get signed. Until you do, and then you realize it's
shit.
Yeah, it's not all it's cut out to be. But yeah, at the time it was what we wanted. And
so this guy flew down, and we
met him at the airport,
and we just burst into song, and I don't know, we were strange.
Yeah, but
and the guy was like, okay, it's cool, man.
Yeah. And we were signed, and it was just a lot of struggle, but we got independent after 4 years of fighting to get out of our contracts.
Because being with a record label, it was cool in some ways, but mostly not, because you kind of
you're stifled.
Yeah, you're just in this box.
You can't stand for anything.
And you do and say what they want you to do. You dress how they want you to dress. And if you go against that, then there's always some big issue.
Yeah. So it was really crap, but we always knew who we were. Often the music was not what we wanted to do at all, but through all those struggles, we found our sound. We never stopped writing, and then we eventually made our way after we got out of the record label shitstorm. We were kind of screwed. Yeah, we were blacklisted in the South African music industry,
and then broke as fuck.
Yeah, because we weren't allowed to play because it's a very small music scene and
very incestuous.
Yeah.
So when one person says, "Oh no, don't touch them," then it's like, oh, okay, no, don't want to piss those people off.
So we were screwed, and then we sold like whatever we could find to sell, and we got to America and we recorded more music again. We were offered a huge record deal, but what they did to the music that we had done in the studio,
it was cool, but it wasn't again what we wanted.
We were just like, what
they took like our music and it
was organic, and they turned it into a
EDM dance pop,
which is great, but we were like, we just left that. Like,
why would we do that again? So then again, we walked away from that, and it was a really cool contract, but we were like, nah, it's not worth the same thing.
Same shit. So we waitressed, working 6 double shifts a week, and we were just writing whatever we could. And we just kept uploading videos onto YouTube.
And then someone from the UK, they
connected to us, and they were like, hey, I want to bring you over for a tour. And we were like, yeah, right, this is some scam.
Because obviously you hear people that are like, oh, I'm going to make you big or whatever. That need to come.
A light just fell. And we were like, yeah, this dumbass. We were like, whoa, he's going to make us famous, man. We were taking the piss.
And then it turned out to actually be true. Well, not for him to make us famous, but to go to the UK, because he was like, you should play gigs here, here, and here. And then we're like, okay. And then we flew there, but obviously you needed an album if you're going to tour with it.
So 2 days before we left, we were like,
we need to get some music together.
We need to find a drummer. Let's do it now. Yeah, we're like, we're going to go.
So in
2 days?
2 days, we recorded 16 songs on this album.
We met the drummer. He had to do the songs then and there. That was it. Like, it was hectic.
So the first album
is raw.
Is raw as hell. The Cold Skull Rebellion.
Raw as fuck.
So from there, then we just carried on like touring, and obviously the first tour in the UK for us was a big eye opener.
Yeah, it was radical. I mean, like I don't think we swore as much ever before we went there, but
now, yeah. But even like even small things that I'm so grateful for, like now we have proper merchandise, but back then, so obviously when you tour, you need merchandise because that's kind of how you survive.
Yeah.
But us, we'd never done that before, so we were like, oh, you know what? You know those printing companies where people go, let's say they have a partner and they print I love you, Dave, with his picture on a mug.
Right. Like, love those.
Okay, so we went to a place like that, and then we were like, oh, they can print us our merch stuff.
Do you know how expensive it was? We like bankrupted
ourselves. The shittest merch that you've ever seen.
Bad.
It was so bad.
People still bought it though. Actually, I think we gave away some of it for free.
I think most of it was given away, but yeah.
It was bad. But we caused so much chaos, and then we started getting a really good following. Like, people couldn't believe the shit that we were doing, because I guess people, when you grow up in let me say, first world country, and everything's, kind of uniform, there wasn't anything quite like what we were doing going on. So people were like, what the fuck?
Because, I mean, even for us to go to a shop and see like a self-service checkout counter, it's like, whoa,
Right.
we don't get shit like that. So we did shit like it was crazy.
And also because we have a strong message, so people are like, oh, okay,
I resonate with this. And then so that's just, actually, you asked how did we become the Soap Girls? Well, okay, in a nutshell. Sorry,
big nutshell.
Big nutshell.
No, I know. I mean, and so now in terms of when you got to the UK, like what was the response? I mean, I know you said you started to develop a following, but what was it like playing those first shows? Like what was the kind of the response of people when you first started?
I think people were initially very shocked.
They were like, what? I remember our first show we played, it was for like a huge audience. We were supporting a band, but this all-girl band hated us. And we didn't know. And our show, it's very different. It's very like interactive with the crowd. And I just remember like the whole audience, I think every single person from that first show ended up becoming a fan, which is pretty sick. But the band that we were supporting they like despised us. I remember going up off the stage, and then I remember the lead singer saying, "Oh God, what was that?"
I was even like, I don't know myself.
Hey, it was cool. I mean, we did things very differently. But I guess people want shit that pushes them beyond everything that they know already. I mean, if you already know and you've experienced things, you're looking for something different. And I think people were initially like, whoa. I mean, we were so broke. We were taking house paint from venues and just painting on outfits. We were using tape, whatever.
Wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend the house paint. No. It broke out into rashes, but it's okay. We had like nothing. I think we were living off... what the fuck did we eat? Like, unless fans brought us food, I don't think we had much.
People for the most part, they were really
welcoming. We just had one very bad incident. I mean, initially what struck us about the UK was that it was very open-minded compared to a conservative country like South Africa. So we were just like, wow, everyone's so amazing. Punk and rock rules, man. Like,
and then we played this one venue where the venue owner had some, I don't know, bad idea or something of us. But even then, like, there's no excuse.
He was furious because we were being labeled punk. And like, we were getting a name out there.
Yeah, in his eyes, we were just two dumb bimbo. I don't know.
Our boobs aren't big enough to be come on, man. But I don't know. He had this thing. So he invited us to play it, and it took us 6 hours to drive there. Mind you, we didn't even have a GPS in the car, nothing. It was a crazy tour. So we arrived, and it was a Sunday night, and it was just very hostile, xenophobic. It was weird. And we were basically attacked. He got his girlfriend and a friend. He wasn't there himself.
To get these...
what he called fake blood. It smelled like vinegar, and it eroded all our gear and stuff too.
Jeez.
So I didn't know what the fuck was in there.
Like straight in the face, and the eyes.
It was bad.
It was shit.
Man.
But yeah, so that venue owner was like a psycho, and he was proudly going like, yeah, I ordered the attack and all this shit. But it's like, we didn't even mention the name of the venue or anything.
He came out and said, oh, it was my venue.
And then when it got shut down, he blamed us. But it's like, dude, you were like, okay, psycho, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we were attacked, and it kind of made us want to get the hell out of there. We never wanted to go back. And then we were like, hang on, fuck this shit. And we wrote a song, Bad Bitch, then, and they were like, nah, fuck this. And the next shows afterwards were great. So yeah, we were like, you know what, you're going to get crap. And many people messaged us saying that venue, from when they were young, that also had very bad experiences. So we said, well, why the fuck didn't you say anything?
They said, well, because look how they reacted. Basically, he got a whole, like, I don't know, his whole community or whatever to threaten us and write us horrible emails and messages and
slander our name and stuff.
Yeah, so they're like, look what happened to you. That's why we didn't say anything.
Nah, fuck that. We won't be silenced. But then the funny thing is, on our last tour of the UK, it was in 2019. We were invited to play at a really good venue because that venue was a dump. Sorry, no offense. We've played any kind of venue, but just bad attitude, so it's a dump.
Yeah.
And then
the guy's dog after the show came on stage and shouts on the stage. That kind of summed up the whole thing.
Sure.
Yeah. But that's fine, whatever. So we were invited to play at a really good venue in the same town, and apparently there was not enough security. And the venue owner was too concerned because apparently they were threatening to attack us.
Yeah. And anyone who went to go to the show.
If we tread foot in their town.
God.
So we were like,
dude, what the fuck?
We were ready. We had like bags of shit ready.
We all took laxatives and we put it in shit bags with glass. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna fucking bring it. I'll do a GG.
Try to beat me up if I'm covered in shit.
See, the first time it happened, we were very naive and very sweet. I don't know. It definitely changed me. I mean, now if someone tries to go shit with me while I'm on stage, I will
give
jump
them
down.
back as good as they. Yeah.
No one will intimidate me. So I have flashbacks of paralyzing fear. Fuck that. I'll take my shirt, beat your ass up. Sorry.
Yeah.
But
no.
Are we allowed to swear?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Rock on. But we want to empower other people. It doesn't matter if an oppressor or someone that's abusive tries to threaten you, like, oh, we'll ruin your life. Fuck that. Bring it out in the open. No. Enough with the cloak and dagger shit. People must speak their mind, and that's it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, y'all have had like not only the kind of the business fight, but you've had like literal,
God. We have some crazy stories like that. Like, see, a lot of not all venues or whatever, but we'll go to places sometimes, and maybe people, like maybe the venue owner didn't really understand or didn't maybe listen to our music or anything. He just sees a picture and he's like especially in Italy, two blonde not wearing match, I take this one. And then you go to the venue and then they show you these like two like dancing cages and he's like one for you and you dance.
And we're like, no, we load the gear in, dude.
And he's like, what do you mean?
And we're like, no, load in,
play music. And then they get all like angry and it's like, you obviously didn't listen to our music.
It's just very weird, but it's fine. I mean, we don't shy away from it. I'll never hit someone first, but again, it's the same. If I see them threatening our manager or my sister, I won't hit first. But I'll hit last. but if I have to get it, I always say to people, are you sure you want to go there? Are you very sure you want to go there?
But it's always the same. Even if you remember at school, like some kid would bully you or like hit you, and when you hit them back, then they start crying, and then you get into trouble.
Exactly.
It's like, did you hit me first?
No, I make sure everyone knows. I'm like, everyone saw that, hey? It's go time. It's go time. I had to jump on people's backs. I didn't care. Like, people need to back the fuck off. Sorry.
Not always though.
Not always. I mean, generally people are amazing, but those crazy moments actually they make the best memories. Yeah. So fuck it.
Especially if you're feeling tired, then it wakes you up and you're like, yeah.
I mean, did that help the creative process with songwriting at all?
Definitely. I mean,
pretty unique.
You can't just like go sail through everything like, oh yeah, that was a great show, very pleasant. Like
it's the same though. I think like maybe the best art comes from the darkest places.
Yeah. Not always. I mean, sometimes yes, sometimes no. But I think you have to really feel something in order to feel creative.
No, isn't it that saying? The best flowers come from the most shit.
Oh.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Well, and now this is kind of like a cheesy question, but like, I mean, it's pretty easy to identify music that has a purpose as opposed to ones that don't. And I feel like your music, which is kind of what struck me immediately, is that your music really feels like it has a purpose. Like, what is it that inspires you to continue to make music? Is it like, what's the exact idea or the feeling behind it?
I think
sweet. That's not a cheesy question at all.
It's actually cool. Yeah. And thank you.
Yeah. We really we're fucking honored.
Yeah.
Our
I'm
music,
glad that you feel that way because
it's born from our own experiences and also what drives us to write more. Every time we go through something, I mean, if we were to die today, I wouldn't have fully expressed myself. There's still so much to say.
Mm-hmm.
But also I think even if you just look at what's happening and what's happening in the world and even what's happened 10 years ago, the fact that so much bad shit is still happening means that our music, not even just our music, but music with message, like it needs to be heard. Like people need to wake up and listen and see, oh shit, this can't go on for it can't carry on going on. Like even if you look at a country like I was watching a thing
about Saudi Arabia.
That's fucked up in that country.
Mm-hmm.
Like what? Like how is that even allowed? But that people are allowed to be treated like shit like that.
Yeah.
But again, through oppression, I guess you get a resistance, and I think that's whatever it is that compels you or pushes you. I mean, don't get me wrong, we can write like happy songs, and I'm sure we have. No, the fourth album we almost finished doing. There's some happy stuff, but again, generally we haven't lived an easy life, and I think it's the same for many people out there. And I guess,
but I think also music saves a lot of people. Like even I know when I've been feeling like really shit, and then I hear a song, whether it's like an angry song or a song, it always has a message, and I think you hear a song at the right time in your life kind of thing, and it will mean something more to you.
Like I feel less lonely listening to a song where someone's been through something, in that it's like, shit, I'm not the only one, which is a good feeling. And I hope that our music does that for people. I don't want people to go through shit, but again, our music does have a twist of humor in it as well. Like we'll say something and you don't realize what we've just said. It sounds sweet, but it's not. There's something between the lines.
Yeah. No, I agree. And I feel like music, more than any other art form for me, I feel like it really can kind of cement itself in your mind with a certain period of your life or a certain time or a certain moment.
Yes.
And for better and for worse, like there are moments that you'll think back on every time you hear that song and you don't want to.
That's why.
I hate that song Tiny Dancer, because at the end of that gig where we got attacked, that was a fucking song playing.
But it's the same. That's why, if you're in a relationship with someone, don't say, oh, this is our song. Because I guarantee when you break up, you'll fucking hate that song.
I did that with one of my favorite songs, and I can't do it.
No.
Oh no.
See, it's a bad thing. Don't ever do it.
Yeah.
The same with tattooing people's names on it. Doesn't work.
Oh no. Yeah. That's
and for life. And then it's like, fuck it. Yeah.
And also, like, I mean, one thing that I love punk, rock and alt rock and all that stuff, because I feel like even now you're able to, as y'all do, really express yourself however you want. And it's within rock music, especially, it's completely warranted and it makes sense.
Yeah.
That's
what rock is. Rock is literally having something to say.
Like sometimes you'll get some people, and even some people have said, like, maybe not a lot of people, but I've heard some people say like, oh, when I listen to music, I want to forget about the ills of society, man. I just want to zone out. It's like, yeah, that's cool and everything, but also like it's a way for people to wake up too. It's a way for people to understand more in a more, I don't know, an easily accessible way.
Yeah, I get what you mean. But I just think that it's good to have mindless music. I mean, obviously there's thought into everything, but when I say mindless music, that doesn't have anything that makes you think, but you also need music that has a commentary on society. Otherwise, what is the music reflecting?
Yeah.
If it's not reflecting you and the general like shit going on.
And it's so weird. Like sometimes you'll get a song that you've been listening to for years, but you didn't really hear the lyrics, and then you'll be, I don't know, maybe older and wiser, and then you hear the song back again and you're like, whoa, holy shit.
Like that song Bad Moon Rising and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it really applies.
Shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, now speaking on that, when you were growing up, what were some of the artists or bands or musicians that you first connected with?
Tracy Chapman, definitely. I think her voice is just insane, but it's also what she was saying. It's I don't know. It reminds us a lot of our childhood. Like just that's what we were listening to like every single day. Even what is that guy with? He's got the amazing voice. With "Don't Worry, Be Happy." I always forget how to say his name.
Bobby McFerrin.
Yes, okay, Bobby McFerrin. Also, then we were into like.
She loved Blondie.
Yeah. I just remember singing to Blondie when I was a kid. We've always loved Nirvana. We've loved Pearl Jam, Mudhoney. What else? Hole. There's been so many different things. You've always been into Fleetwood Mac. I dig the music, but it's your music.
but music is also cool because it's like nostalgic. Like when you were a kid, and then like I loved the movie The Wedding Singer. And I was obsessed with the soundtrack of that
Billy
movie.
Idol's
like I bought both of those albums, and like I would like play that CD the whole time. Like all the music on there I love. Yeah. And when you hear this stuff, then it takes you back to like, I don't know, a road trip or something that happened.
Yeah, whether it was good or even sad, but it's memory. It's like a perfume. It takes you back. When you smell it again, you're like, whoa. But music even more.
Yeah, but like the song White Wedding, I think it came on VH1 or something when you were like young. And then we saw it and we were like, whoa, we want to do that.
You're doing guitar. Yeah. So I don't know. It's cool. We have like very eclectic taste. There was a time already I was into ABBA.
I was going to make a joke.
Marilyn Manson.
I was going to say our music taste is whoever our mom was dating at the time.
Ooh, there was a time the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Some of them had shit taste, man.
No, they were
no, not them. Not them.
Okay. Even that band Travis with the song Sing.
Yeah.
We had very strange taste. Always, I would say rock was definitely the thing for us. Yeah. Rock and grunge.
Yeah, I grew up with like the 90s and 2000s punk bands like Green Day and Blink-182 and like
Sum 41.
And songs like that will come back, and it's exactly as you said. It's almost like a smell. It's like it's crazy.
I love it. It's such an epic feeling, and also because
sometimes it can make you feel so sad, though.
No.
I know.
But also, the stuff hasn't aged. I mean, it sounds still relevant to today, which is really fucking awesome. I mean, they captured shit that people feel, which again, it's timeless.
I think music will always be timeless, especially when it's people like speaking a truth, like whether it's an emotion that they're going through, because humans always are going to go through heartache. They're always going to go through loss. They're always going to be happy or in love. So those messages or feelings are never going to get old because you can relate to them.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. It's crazy how, like, I mean, even more so than like a film or a book, like it's amazing how like a 2-minute song can live on for so long. Like, I mean, people, still listening to like Frank Sinatra, like just a 2-minute song from 70, 80 years ago is just crazy, that could have that much of a shelf life,
I saw a really amazing video. A person, I think he must have been 80 something years old, and he had, I think he had Alzheimer's, and he didn't remember his family or anything, but he had a favorite record that he would always play. Yeah. And this one song, when they played it for him, then you could see his whole face light up and he could remember every
I think I've seen either that same video or something very similar to that. Yeah.
So that's it just amazing. Shows you how powerful the power of music. Yeah.
Well, now talking about some of, because you had mentioned it, the live streams that you've done over the last year. What has that been like? Because obviously, there are obvious differences between doing that and a concert, but like, what has that process been like? Because you have been pretty active with that.
Yeah, well, basically, so every Thursday, Friday, Saturday,
it's a themed live stream, and then on the Monday, it's acoustic.
So each night, the room changes. So we'll pick like a different theme, whether it's geishas or Looney Tunes or like you just have to get creative.
Hillbilly, or I don't know, goth or something.
We paint and create the sets and artwork and get dressed up. And
so it's a lot more work in that it's not like at a venue, you rock up, you play, and you can leave and there's a big mess, but it's okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're sorting the shit out.
Like our whole house is just covered in
thousands of paintings, but like that we've had to do over the year, and we're really grateful. I'd never painted or anything in my life before, so it's been interesting. But I think what you're referring to, like how it's like to play
with not an audience right there.
Right.
Okay. I was talking to someone a few days ago and they said, they can't handle live stream because it's too weird without anyone. For me, because it's being filmed, it's a lot of pressure as well. So it's kind of like a show. Yeah. So I feel like our fans, we have a very eclectic, epic mix of people that love our music, and we interact with them all the time. So it's like, hey, I know you're watching Dan or whatever. Like we
talk to them while we
do the live stream and we chat after. So as much as it's shit because there's no actual energy besides our own in the room, our energy is pretty wicked though when we're on stage. So we're like, we're feeding off the energy. It's tricky, but at the same time, I'm so damn grateful to be doing music.
The only downside is these neighbors across the road.
They keep calling the cops on us. So it kind of sucks.
That's too bad.
Well, the cops interrupt the live stream. It was hilarious.
Funny. Oh, and this one fan, he sent us these books.
Of screen
grabs of like every single show that we've done so far, and the cop incident was in the one. We were
nice.
But yeah, it's different.
And it is very different. I mean, we can't wait to get back on stage. The space also is tiny. So normally on stage, I throw up my bass or do like crazy weird shit. And in here, I dinged her guitar. She wanted to kill me. It's just different. But I guess when you're determined and you have vision, I mean, when we dreamt about going on tour, we visualized it. We had no means for a long time, but because
we knew that we wanted it to happen,
determined, we willed it into happening. We didn't wait. We were actively like waiting. So we were getting ready for it. We're ready to tour tomorrow if we can.
I think, in life, when you want something enough, then like you'll get it. Yeah. Even like you read the stories of, I don't know, say Romeo and Juliet, or say a couple that are young but they're not allowed to see each other. They'll make a way. They'll make a plan.
Have you read Romeo and Juliet?
No, just too clever for me.
I know. To be honest, I was like, I'm fucking surprised you read it. I did. But I was like, shit.
I just watched the movie.
That's all you need.
Oh my God, you dumbass.
Same with Lord of the Rings.
Oh yeah.
Cool, I love Lord of the Rings.
But I tried to read it and I was like, wow, this is some smart shit. Bye.
It's dense. Yeah. Well, now, with over this past year, what else have y'all been doing? I mean, like movies, anything in particular y'all have been taking up your time with?
Yeah. Okay.
Just obviously this takes up a lot of our time.
So it takes about like probably 12, maybe sometimes more hours of painting every week just to get the show ready.
Sundays are our only day off, but
we've also been like learning how to drive because we were illegal immigrants for many years. We're not actually from South Africa, but we grew up here, and
obviously we had to steer away from anything like official where you need documents.
Right.
So when we were legalized and we could get out of South Africa, we were always on tour, so we never had the opportunity
to do the licensing and stuff like that. So
now it's quite comical. We got our theory test and everything,
but then we need to do the practical, which we're busy doing. But also we've been writing
loads of new stuff. Also doing music videos when we can. It's a bit tricky in South Africa because if you go out, like, you have to watch all your shit. You'll get robbed.
Like even when we did the second albums, when we were doing the artwork, like the pictures for that, we went to this, like, it's by like a Navy base thing, and they have like these old bunkers, and then there was a generator on top to get the light for underneath. Mm-hmm. And then when we were doing the photos, and we were like, shit, where did the light go? And then we went up, someone had run with the generator.
Huge generator.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
So you have to watch your stuff, but we always make things work.
So we're just staying creative. Also, like, planning like tour stuff, and our manager's fucking amazing. She designs like all our merch. So we're with her. We're like, hey, this is so sick. And
basically we ready when things open or whatever, and we can go on tour. Then just go.
Yeah. That's awesome.
And the fourth album will be ready.
I think, that's also something like we keep writing. So we'll probably have like excess songs. We're just looking to see what to do.
That's awesome. I mean, is there...
And one other thing also, sorry, I had to interrupt.
So rude.
I'm so rude. Because recording and that, it's also shitty because you have to rely on other people's time. And if you don't have like a lot of cash and stuff. So we started learning how to like we self-produce always. We generally have an engineer, but like just we're learning like basic engineering, which it's cool
with a laptop and a
fucking difficult
a mic and
So it's different.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
It's not the easiest skill to pick up just like that.
No.
Yeah. But I mean, like we know what we like to hear.
So it takes a while, and sometimes we're like, man, this is fucking hard, but then we get it, and then we're like, yes, we did it.
And then you forgot to hit save. No, I'm
exactly.
joking.
Yeah. Or record. Yeah. Well, now, I mean, the upcoming album, is there anything you can say about it? The vibe of it? Any ideas in particular?
Fuck yeah. Okay. It's going to be called In My Skin. It's a very dark album. Also very different to anything we've done before. It's very different.
It's like a mix. It's weird.
Very weird mix. I mean, we've got a song that we released already with the music video called Heart in Bloom. It's very mild compared to a lot of other stuff, but then there's a would you call it like death metal?
No, not death metal.
Not death metal. Just it's very hard.
Yeah,
it's
like
extreme.
This album's like it's a whole mix. The thing that I love about our albums is that they don't just have like, obviously it's our sound, you can hear it's us, but like it's not, even it's the same when we play shows, like say if it's like a punk show or something, then people are like, you're not just punk and you're not just rock and you're not just, I don't know, it's like you can't put it into one genre, which is cool, but it also sucks too,
because then you're just like, well what do you do? Alt, whatever, we're alt, man. I don't know. Yeah. But we've got a good mix. There's a lot of very, like, I would say personal, like all our albums are personal, but I think this one was more introspective in a way, so it's different. I think a lot of people that have been through shit will relate to it. Like there's some like good, like happy elements, but a lot of it's quite dark, I would say.
That's awesome. And by the way, I love Heart in Bloom.
Oh,
thank you. All the time. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Well, Jelle, it's really nice talking to you. Is there anything else in particular I haven't brought up that you'd like to have known? Anything that anyone maybe new to you that you'd like for them to know, or anything like that?
Okay, yeah. Okay, well, I just said okay a million times. It's always a tricky one. I think the biggest message that we have is to always embrace your freedom and embrace the freedom of others, but never be afraid to step out of your own comfort zone. And by that, I mean, a lot of the time people think, oh, I won't like this, or, oh, no, I can't do this, or it's not for me. You don't know until you give it a try. So I think just embrace life, embrace different things. And maybe don't knock it till you've heard it. Yeah. So don't, for instance, we get misjudged a lot, but don't just look at one thing and assume you know. That's a dangerous thing to do. And I think it goes for everything in life. So if you want some absolute raw music that's in your face, some of it's chilled out, but generally it's just, we've got a message. If you resonate with it, go for it. Or if you want your mind bent, then tune into one of the live streams. But yeah, we are a happy community of complete individuals, but we're all on the same wavelength. We all stand for something. We stand for, obviously, freedom. And obviously we're big for animal rights and respect of all, like, how can I say, expressions of freedom.
I mean, you can't get much better than that. So, that's the way to go.
Well, thank you. Yeah. And also we do have a twisted sense of humor. So if you're pretty, like, I would say, if you're easily offended, you've come to the right place. No, well, even if you're easily offended, just, come on in, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So, all right. Well, yeah, y'all, thank you so much again. Would love to get you back on some other time. The next album rolls around, get you back on. Oh, we can't wait. We would want to hear what you think of the new songs. So I had to interject. No. Yeah. I'm dying to hear them. So, all right, everybody. I think that is about it for the show this week. Please make sure to rate, review, and subscribe on your way out. Thank you so much. You can also follow the podcast on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at The Music Buds. Check out themusicbuds.com. And we hope you enjoyed it as much as we did, and we'll see you next time.